Hi guys, welcome to YOUTHTOPIA on YouTube. My name is Melati, I'm 19 years old and a full-time changemaker. Some of you may already know me as one of the founders of Bye Bye Plastic Bags, but I'm also the founder of YOUTHTOPIA, where we're serious about change and empowering our generation. So, where do we start really? Maybe a younger version of myself can bring you guys back in time just a little bit.
My name is Melati, and I'm a 15-year-old activist. My dream is to create a worldwide platform where youths can come together and connect to generate ideas and solutions that can benefit the world's environment, humanity. What if we could start all over again, from the very beginning? Imagine we would create a place, a country, an island, or maybe something like this. Imagine a youthopia, where you and I can come together and make this a reality. And actually think about it. We would create an entirely new world through our vision, the vision of youths. A vision that is not yet polluted by hidden agendas, politics, greed, personal ego. A place where we would look into a sustainable and holistic approach towards humanity and do so with a compassionate heart.
Yeah, I know, we waited way too long for the right time to launch YOUTHTOPIA. That video of me being 15 was never fully released. Comment below if you think I should release the full version. It gets even funnier because, believe it or not, nearly 4 years after that video was filmed, we wanted to launch YOUTHTOPIA in Chile for the COP25. And then we had to cancel it because of the ongoing political unrest. And then we set out this plan to launch YOUTHTOPIA in a pop-up in Australia. And we had to cancel it because of the fires. And then we set out to do a YOUTHTOPIA program in Singapore, nice and close to home, and yet we had to cancel it because of the virus. I'm telling you guys, I was so done. I was about to give up. It's frustrating when something you work so hard for doesn't end up working. And I just started to think that maybe the world was just not ready for something as big as YOUTHTOPIA. It felt like we were being tested over and over and over again. But now, just a few weeks into quarantine, we've all had a dramatic change in our plans. Basically, our entire 2020 calendar is out the window. But this means that we actually have more time. I have not been home this long since graduating high school nearly 2 years ago. So now I'm taking a step back in what feels like a step back in time to where we first started. What you're hearing now is that people have to work from home or study and learn from home, but what about being an activist from home? So today in this video, my first YouTube lifestyle video, I wanted to share 5 major tips on how I've continued to be an activist from home with or without a pandemic. The 5 things that I would recommend: stay updated and stay informed. Stick to a routine, learn, create, mobilize. Step number 1, stay informed and updated. Especially in times like right now, it is so vital that we are staying up to date with the correct information as much as possible. What are your local and global news stations saying? What are your politicians saying? If you're more of a social media kind of person and like to hang out on Instagram, that's totally okay. But make sure you're using it in the right way if we're going to use that as a source of information. Follow pages that are verified and correct on Instagram, giving you daily updates. But remember, reading and watching and following isn't the only way to follow the news. You can also sign up to an online forum where you can actually follow live stream announcements that are being made or updates that are being given. These are really great ways to get involved and get updated. Step number 2, stick to a routine. Sticking to a routine is mega important because this actually creates a productive environment around you. It lays out boundaries, which is important because I get it. Being an activist can be completely chaotic and hectic, and you want to keep that separate to your home life. So sticking to a routine sets those boundaries for you. And Google Calendar or alarm clocks on your phone, reminders on your phone are great ways of keeping track of your day. Set a starting time and definitely set an ending time. In between your day, don't forget to put in exercises or breathing exercises. A deep gulp of fresh air is always important. And to be honest, I have to be reminded of that every now and then, otherwise I will forget to do it. But going back to being productive, to be as productive as possible, for me personally, I like to set a day-to-day to-do list. I live off of to-do lists, and it is so satisfying when I get to tick one off, especially when it's that last thing on your to-do list. Tip 3, learn. Finally, we get to learn again. This is the most precious part because learning is forever. When we stop learning, we become stagnant. And I don't know about you, but when we had the rush of day-to-day deadlines and expectations of just being always there, on point, being an activist, after graduating high school, I kind of felt like I stopped learning. I was always in my comfort zone and I never challenged myself to go out there and continue learning a new skill or develop a new passion for another topic that might interest me. So use this precious time to dig deeper, to go on that online course, listen to the webinar that you've always wanted to go to. Whatever works for you. Some tools that I always like using is the good old-fashioned book and pen, and I like to write notes or scribble and type it out on a Word document. Tip number 4, create. Once you've soaked in all of this new knowledge and new information, you will see that suddenly around you there's a space to create. One of the easiest ways to get creative is just get down and dirty by doing a brainstorm. Visualize, paint, write random words or a string of thoughts, create a mood board. Whatever gets your creative mood flowing, just tap into it. One of my favorite things to do is actually write. I feel like I'm actually the most articulate when I take the time to sit down and write. So maybe a quarantine to-do list for Melati is not finish a book, but start one. Tip 5, mobilize. As a change maker, as an activist, it is in our nature to want to reach out. We need a sense of community. And in times like this, I challenge us to step in a new light. Try hosting an online forum on Instagram, do takeovers, invite people over to have conversations and ask big questions. Continue to mobilize in a different way. There are many tools available to us today. My top favorite tools to create interactions online are WhatsApp, Instagram, emails, and Zoom. And I guess now YouTube, TikTok has yet to convince me. There you have it, my top 5 tips of how to be a change maker, an activist from home. Let's just say this was large on my to-do list since I was 15. And hopefully I can just tick that off with the biggest smile ever and introduce Youthtopia finally to the world. Give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, share it with your friends, and if you are serious about change, follow us on our channels, youthtopia.world.